Hi everyone, thank you again for joining me for another little yoga exercise that we can do. Once again, I am Christina Chismar, Recreation Administrative Clerk and Certified Yoga Instructor. Just a reminder, please consult a physician before beginning any exercise program, as well as try to remember to keep water nearby, as well as wearing loose-fitting, comfortable clothing. As before, just making sure you do a little warm-up. We do have the other video to show warm-up exercises, so I'm just going to get right into it, doing some standing postures, starting with my very favorite, something that we should be doing every day, which is squats. So, coming up with me, I'm going to turn my chair to the side just so you can see a little better. So, starting with your squat, you want to make sure that where you are in relation to the chair. You can always do these poses without the chair, but in terms of your mobility, your flexibility, everything, it's always nice to have something there just in case. So wherever you are, just making sure that you're lined up. Just start lowering yourself like you're going to sit into the chair. When you're almost there, lifting on up, just using your legs, using your glutes. Lowering back down. If you'd like, you can always check in with yourself, making sure that your knees are not going over your toes. You can't really see from right there. Lifting on up. Do 3 more of this. Lowering all the way down, almost to touch the chair, and lifting back up. Lowering down, squeezing yourself all the way back up. Lowering down for the very last time, this time holding it. If you like, extending your arms out in front of you, getting into a full chair pose. Completely up to you, just making sure your knees are not going over your toes. The idea behind your knees not going over your toes is to help you not have any problems. And wherever you are, if this is starting to burn, drop it on down. Beautiful. Once again, just doing the standing postures here. So going to the back of your chair. Once again, chair is there for supports. If you don't need your chair, I just like to have it close by. So I will be moving mine over just so you can see my legs and everything a little bit better here. So we'll be getting into our tree pose. So starting with your right foot. You can always take your shoes off for that, which I'm going to do. Starting with your right foot, you're going to root your right foot all the way in, rooting into all 4 corners of your feet, making sure to keep your toes lifted, or not lifted, but at least spread as far as the 4 corners of your feet. That does not include your toes. So wherever you are, you should be able to root down, getting your weight into your right foot enough to lift your left foot. Then you can either kickstand, you can stretch the other side, kickstand, put against your calf. You always press it against your thigh. Completely up to you. This is not a contest with me. It's not a contest with anybody else but yourself. Trick here, just keep it off of your knee. When you're in tree pose, you're actually pressing your weight against your leg. So if you're pressing it against a joint's going to go out. So finding wherever feels comfortable here. Just holding it. Leg is spread out to the side. So you have your hips open. One hip's facing out to the side, one hip's facing forward. Finding your drishti gaze, your unmoving point. And if it is in your mobility today, you're more than welcome to raise your arms up to the sky. Otherwise, don't ever forget you have the chair here. The chair is your friend. Just lifting yourself up. Finding that drishti gaze, those unmoving points, that's your focus. That helps you stay on point as you focus on your breathing, focus on anything else that matters, which right now is just to stay up. Whenever you're ready, rolling down, and take your left leg off of your right slowly. Slingshotting it out is not going to do you any favors. Just slowly lifting it up, letting it rest down next to you. As we go to the right side. Once again, moving the chair over just for view. Once again, rooting into all 4 corners of your left foot, letting it spread out. Literally think of your foot just expanding as it roots on down, putting your weight into your left as you lift up your right foot for the kickstand, calf, or thigh, wherever fits. Once again, staying off of that knee. Finding that drishti gaze, that unmoving point, noticing the difference between each side of your body. One side is always going to be easier than the other side, just how we're built. The idea behind yoga is that you work both sides enough that everything becomes equal. So once again, finding that unmoving point, even just playing around, so taking your hands off the chair. Completely up to you. If the chair is in front of you, which is how I prefer, just resting your hands. Once again, just finding that spot. And once again, as we hold it for just one more breath, you can always hold these poses, go back to them and hold them as long as you want, building up your strength. And you might find today is perfect, and tomorrow when you do this, you're falling all over the place. That's just how we are. That's what's great about this. So once again, lifting up that right leg, bring it slowly down to meet the left. You're shaking it out, doing whatever feels good. So getting into a flamingo. So flamingo, once again, using the side of the chair just to show you guys. Starting with your right foot, putting your weight into that right foot, spreading out again, this time lifting your left leg up behind you, even if it's just a couple inches. Or you can go up farther. This is flamingo. So if you can always reach back behind you and grab your foot. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. The idea is that you're just being able to lift it. And over time, if you can always extend out your front arm, extend it up. And then because I've had people in my chair yoga class do it, you can always try to extend your leg behind you a little bit more, coming into a dancer pose. Once again, it's completely up to you. The fact that you just lifted your leg behind you, that's it. That's all you need to do. The rest of it's pretzel yoga. Lowering that leg down, shaking it out if need be, and then rooting once again into your left foot, making sure you're not getting into those toes. We don't want scrunchy toes. The more spread out our toes are, the better. Lifting up the right leg behind you, once again, just as high as it feels good. Your hamstrings might be tight, you might not be able to lift it. So just find wherever feels comfortable. Just enjoying that stretch. And once again, whatever you tried on the other side, maybe try it on this side. Extending your arm out, extending it up. Maybe pressing that leg back behind you a little more. Your practice, you decide. I'm just guiding. And lowering that leg once again down with control. Setting up for our goddess pose. So goddess pose, I'll move the chair in a moment. Goddess pose is just taking your legs out. I like to use the chair as a guide, so you can see my legs on either side of the chair. If you can go out farther, awesome, but you're pigeon-toeing your feet out to the sides. Chair is there for support. If you have your balance, you can always bring your arms to cactus, or you can keep them on the chair. Whatever feels good. But from here, just to get the movement and lubrication into our thighs, our hamstrings, as well as our hips, we're just going to pulse down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, holding it for a second, getting as deep as you can, feeling the burn in those thighs, and then straightening yourself all the way out into star pose. Awesome. Back on down the center. Getting into what I call the strongest pose in yoga, which is Warrior 2. There are many warriors. There's actually 5 of them. Warrior 2, my opinion, strongest pose. Prove me wrong. Still waiting for it. Just so you know how it is going to look without the chair. Starting with your right foot. You're extending your right foot out to the side, making sure that your ankle is not going over your knee. You want a perfectly straight calf. Over time, you will get to the 90-degree here. Don't worry if you're not there yet. Back foot extends out to the side. You're having it at a 90-degree angle, so if you look down, you'll have heel to arch alignment. So, focusing on wherever you are right now, taking your chair, bringing it out in front of you. You have the chair there for support. Lowering yourself down for wherever feels good. Don't overextend yourself, because don't forget, you have to lift up. So finding wherever this feels good. If this is it, you did it. You will feel this in your thighs. If you want to extend your arms out to a T, shoulders rolled back, looking over that middle finger. This is an intense pose, keeping those arms nice and straight if you can. Breathe. Focusing in on the breathing, focusing in on your drishti gaze, which is right over that middle finger. And then two options here. You can bring your hands to the chair, or keeping them out to the side. Take that front right leg, straighten it out. Triangle pose. Straight legs, that's all triangle poses. Finding that spot. Once again, hands on the chair, arms spread out, whatever feels good. Once again, your drifty gaze is over that middle finger. And if you want to play around, straighten the leg. Oh, sorry, bend the leg, straighten the leg. Bend it, straighten it. Just seeing what kind of difference you have. So don't forget, we still have the other side. So one more playtime, bending and straightening. Hands on the chair as we turn. Getting yourself out of it, finding wherever feels good. I like using Goddess once again to set myself up just so I know where I am before taking your left foot out to the side of the room. Checking to make sure that you have heel to arch alignment again. So you have a nice straight foot, really perpendicular. Making sure that your knee is not going over your toes again. It's in line with your ankle. Finding that spot on your chair or arms extended, whatever feels good. Looking over that middle finger again, drifty gaze. Shoulders are rolled back. Finding your power in this. This is a very, very strong move. It feels really, really good, especially when you get to get out of it. Holding it here for one more breath. And once again, hands on the chair or keeping them extended, straightening out that front leg. Keeping the hips as even as possible. Once again, extending your arms out if that's in your practice, or keeping them on your chair. Once again, you find your comfort level. There's ways to level up, so I like to show you different options, things you can be working towards. So if you're just here, awesome, that's harder. If you got the legs straightened, perfect. Once again, as long as you're protecting your knees, find what feels good. Extending arms out, straightening a leg, bending it, and straightening. Last one, bending and straightening. Beautiful. Walking yourself back in, taking your time, maybe shaking out those legs. Like I said, nothing too extensive today. But once again, once you're all done, if you want to watch this video over again, go for it, have fun. Just sitting back down, relaxing, resting yourself against the chair, giving yourself time to come back to your natural breathing. Eyes closed if you like, hands on your thighs. Just giving your body a little time to just come back, relax, recoup. And once you're all done, once again, fluttering those eyes open if you like. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you once again for joining me. Light me honors, light me up. Namaste.